Hey guys, for fans of Street Outlaws, few names spark as much admiration and heartbreak as Kamikaze Chris. Known for his fearless high-octane racing style, Chris became a standout star in the underground world of street racing. But behind the roar of engines and the flashing lights of fame was a story of pain, resilience, and unimaginable loss. Chris's journey to stardom was built not just on grit and horsepower, but on the foundation of brotherhood, tragedy, and personal demons that nearly ended his career. Before roaring into America's living rooms via Discovery Channel's Street Outlaws, Chris Dave, better known by his nickname Kamikaze Chris, was a name only whispered on the gritty backroads of Oklahoma's underground racing scene. When he joined the show during its third season in 2014, few could have predicted the impact he would have. Chris was different. He wasn't just a racer. He was a daredevil. Fans quickly took to his unfiltered style and his unshakable connection with the cars he drove. "Your car is you," Chris once said, a philosophy that defined his approach to racing. His signature car, the legendary El Camino, or Elco as he called it, became a symbol of both his skill and emotional legacy. But the car was more than a vehicle. It was a tribute to a fallen friend and the beginning of a heartbreaking journey. Chris didn't build or buy the El Camino himself. The car was passed down to him by Justin Shearer, Big Chief, a fellow racer and close friend. The reason? To honor the memory of their mutual best friend, Tyler "Flip" Pretty. Flip was part of the original crew, a fierce racer who had etched his own place in the early chapters of Street Outlaws. Tragically, just before the show's debut in May 2013, Flip passed away under mysterious circumstances at his home in Yukon, Oklahoma. Official statements were never released, and the nature of his death remains a topic of fan speculation, with theories ranging from accidental gun discharge to darker possibilities. What is certain is that Flip did not die doing what he loved. He died quietly, away from the roar of engines and the cheers of fans. Tyler's death devastated both Chris and Big Chief. The three of them had grown up together, riding bikes to watch street races and eventually stepping into the scene themselves. The El Camino, heavily modified and a beast on the road, was Flip's pride and joy. After Flip's passing, Big Chief, despite his concerns about the car's stability, kept the Elco in running condition. Eventually, he entrusted it to Chris. For Chris, driving the Elco wasn't just about winning. It was a promise to his late friend, a tribute wrapped in chrome and horsepower. He put in hours, making the car safer, faster, and more reliable. And in every race, Chris carried Flip's legacy down the quarter mile. Chris's bond with Big Chief and Flip went beyond racing. It was familial, rooted in mutual respect and shared grief. But fate, once again, tested that bond. In 2020, the very car that symbolized memory and tribute nearly became a vehicle of tragedy. While details are scarce, reports indicate that Chris was involved in a harrowing accident involving the El Camino. The incident nearly cost him his life and would ultimately change the trajectory of his career. Though he survived, the crash left a deep emotional and psychological impact. For a racer who built his identity on fearlessness, the event served as a brutal reminder of the sport's dangers. The Elco, a machine tied to so much pain and pride, had fulfilled Big Chief's worst fears. And while Chris walked away physically, the emotional scars lingered. To understand Kamikaze Chris, you have to go back to the beginning. His passion for racing wasn't born on TV. It was forged in family. Chris's father was a known figure in multiple forms of racing: motorcycles, watercraft, and streetcars. Though Chris never shared many personal details publicly, one Facebook tribute from July 29, 2015, offered rare insight into his family. His father passed away young, just 44, but in that short life, he instilled in Chris and his friends, including Flip and Big Chief, a love for racing and the discipline to pursue it seriously. Chris's father was strict and hands-on, a mentor who taught through tough love and example. He built boats, tinkered with engines, and passed on the kind of racing knowledge you can't learn from books. His passing left a void in Chris's life, but also a determination to live up to his father's legacy. It was under this guidance that Chris grew from a fearless teenager with a motorcycle to the street racer known as Kamikaze. The nickname, reminiscent of the reckless bravery of World War II pilots, fit him well. He raced without fear, even when it nearly cost him everything. Despite being a fan favorite, Chris has always kept a low profile. Unlike many reality TV stars, he never used his platform to share his private life. Whether he's married, dating, or single remains a mystery. To Kamikaze Chris, racing has always been the priority. Love, if it existed, came second to horsepower and asphalt. This secrecy has only fueled fan curiosity, especially as he disappeared from Street Outlaws following the 2020 crash. While others might chase the spotlight or spin their misfortune into media attention, Chris retreated. For him, the silence was both a shield and a reflection of deeper struggles. Though he kept quiet publicly, sources close to the racing world say that Chris continued to work behind the scenes, fixing engines, helping other racers, and possibly plotting a return. But the question remained, would Kamikaze Chris ever come back? The story of Kamikaze Chris is one of passion and perseverance. It's a story of a man shaped by his father's discipline, inspired by a friend's memory, and nearly broken by the very sport he loved. Yet through it all, Chris has remained a symbol of grit in the street racing community. His journey proves that greatness often comes with pain. The El Camino, once a symbol of tribute, became a catalyst for tragedy. Yet Chris's connection to it, and to the legacy of Flip, remains unbroken. Fans still hold out hope for a full return. And while Chris hasn't officially rejoined Street Outlaws in a starring role, rumors of a comeback continue to swirl. His supporters are eager to see him once more take to the street with the same audacity that earned him his name. Kamikaze Chris's story is far from over. While tragedy and setbacks have sidelined him, they haven't extinguished the fire. Whether he returns to Street Outlaws or remains a quiet legend in the underground scene, his legacy is etched in the hearts of fans and on the tracks where he once flew like a rocket. In a world that thrives on speed, Kamikaze Chris reminds us of the cost of going fast, the weight of memory, and the enduring power of friendship. Whatever comes next, one thing is certain: Kamikaze Chris will never be forgotten. While Kamikaze Chris's absence from the spotlight has left fans wondering about his next move, it has also opened the door to reflection on his unique impact. In an industry where flash and bravado often overshadow substance, Chris stood out not just for his skill behind the wheel, but for the raw authenticity he brought to Street Outlaws. He wasn't a racer seeking fame. He was a racer because he had no other choice. It was in his blood, his upbringing, and his identity. Even during his time off-screen, his name continues to circulate in fan discussions, forums, and tributes, proving that his influence endures even in silence. One of the most enduring aspects of Chris's legacy is his loyalty. Whether it was honoring his father's memory or carrying on Flip's spirit with the El Camino, Chris always stayed grounded in his roots. That kind of emotional grounding is rare in the fast-paced world of reality TV and competitive racing. It's not just about who crosses the finish line first. It's about what you carry with you when you do. For Chris, each race was a testament to the people who helped shape him, a living tribute to the mentors and friends who could no longer race beside him. The possibility of a full comeback for Kamikaze Chris still lingers, especially with Street Outlaws continuing to evolve through new series like No Prep Kings. This offshoot of the original show has brought in new talent, new rules, and new excitement. But for many longtime fans, it's missing something. It's missing the edge that racers like Kamikaze brought, the rawness and unpredictability that made every race feel like a life-or-death challenge. If Chris were to return, he'd bring with him not just skill and experience, but a sense of continuity, a connection to the show's earliest, most authentic roots. There's also a deeper cultural significance to Chris's story. At a time when many television personalities manufacture drama for attention, Chris's journey offers something real. He dealt with loss, injury, and pressure not through spectacle, but with quiet strength. His story reminds fans that behind every street racer is a complex human being with pain, pride, and purpose. This authenticity resonates far beyond the world of street racing. It speaks to anyone who has fought to turn grief into motivation, or who has chosen passion over predictability. In recent years, fans have created petitions and online campaigns calling for Chris's return to the show. Social media pages dedicated to Street Outlaws frequently share clips and photos of his most legendary races, often accompanied by heartfelt comments like, "We miss you, Kamikaze," and "The Elko isn't the same without him." Even in his absence, Chris's legend has grown. For many, he is the emotional heart of Street Outlaws, the racer who proved that it's not just about speed, but about soul. There's also speculation that Chris has been mentoring younger racers off camera. Given his background and the wisdom passed down from his father and Big Chief, it wouldn't be surprising if Chris is quietly shaping the next generation of racers. His legacy, then, isn't just measured by what he did on the track. It's also reflected in the racers who come after him. If true, it would be a fitting continuation of the mentorship that helped him succeed, a full-circle moment of giving back to a sport that gave him everything and almost took it all away. Whether Kamikaze Chris ever returns to Street Outlaws or remains a behind-the-scenes legend, his impact is undeniable. His story is one of heartbreak and heroism, of quiet resolve and fierce loyalty. In many ways, Chris is more than just a street racer. He's a symbol of resilience. For fans who followed his journey from the early seasons, he represents everything that made Street Outlaws great in the first place: passion, authenticity, and the unbreakable bonds of brotherhood. No matter what the future holds, the legacy of Kamikaze Chris will continue to ride strong, like the Elko thundering down the track, fearless and unforgettable.